Hi everyone, welcome to the Productive Mind podcast. My name is Shyam and I'm here joined by Andrew Panna. As college students, we're exploring innovative ways to enhance productivity, maintain motivation, and cultivate a well-balanced and healthy lifestyle. Join us as we interview professionals from diverse career paths to gain insight into leading a more productive and healthy life. We'll also address specific topics such as time management, organization, goal setting, and more. Before we get started, we're going to highlight one productivity tool you could use to be more productive. This podcast featured tool is Notion, a comprehensive and free productivity and organizational platform. Notion provides features for task management, project tracking, to-do lists, and bookmarking. Additionally, you could create calendars, documents, take programming notes, and more. Personally, I rely on Notion every day to manage my tasks and various projects. Moving on to today's topic. Today's guest speaker is Dr. Vineeth Agrawal, and we are going to talk about how to find, follow, and fulfill your purpose. We are thrilled to have Dr. Vineeth Agrawal as our first ever guest speaker on the Productive Mind podcast. He will be returning for an additional 4 episodes about a variety of topics ranging from managing anxiety to becoming a better listener and more. Dr. Agrawal is a seasoned general surgeon and former education solutions manager at Johnson & Johnson, India. In 2023, he launched Clues, a training company specializing in selling skills for medical device sales teams. Currently, he serves as a consultant facilitator at the International Academy of Transformative Leadership, where he plays a key role in designing and delivering the Transformative Listening program. Trained under Maitreya Dadashriji, Dr. Agrawal has undergone a profound personal transformation and now helps others achieve the same. Beyond his professional endeavors, Dr. Agrawal is deeply involved with Maitri Bodh Parivar, where he contributes to team training events and project execution. He's passionate about helping people discover inner silence and emotional stability, and has developed a unique listening service called I Listen You. Tune in to hear how Dr. Agrawal blends his medical expertise with transformative leadership to guide individuals toward a more centered and fulfilling life. Welcome to the Productive Mind podcast. We've all been there, staying up late after a long day of classes, research, meetings, extracurriculars, and more. Even though we thought we were productive, and despite all of our accomplishments, we still feel empty inside, uncertain whether what we are doing is leading us towards something meaningful, or if we were just going through the motions, fulfilling duties without direction. This is why during our very first podcast, we are going to be talking about finding, following, and fulfilling your purpose.
Now, more than ever, people are just going through the motions, doing what they do without direction. This can be seen in college, where you signed up for classes you were told to, or in the real world, where you just took a job because you were told it pays well. While this may benefit you in the short run, there are a lot of downsides. So, Dr. Agrawal, why do you think this topic is so important?
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you so much, Shyam, for having me. If you look at a Google search, right, the top 5 things that are being searched today, the first one which comes is, what is my purpose? Or what am I here for? Or what am I supposed to do? The next which comes in line is, I feel alone. And then it comes, I am stressed. What can I do about it? So people across the world are going online to find an answer they cannot find online. That what is my purpose? Why am I here? So why is this question coming up? And why are people not able to find that answer? What is driving them to look for this answer? So these are things which is making this topic very important. And if you look at people who are in their 40s and 50s, they talk about a midlife crisis. So they have achieved certain things in their life. They have done what they thought that they should do to feel good about themselves or feel fulfilled. But at that age, suddenly they are lost. That, okay, what is next for me in my life? I'm not feeling happy. What is it that is missing? So those are the reasons. Now, the age that you are in at the moment, if you already know that people in their 40s and 50s are going to experience, you yourself will experience this, why not do something now to go on a path which is going to help you? It is going to make you feel fulfilled from now itself. And you develop a mechanism where any point in your life, you will always have a guiding force, a system that will, it's like a GPS. It'll keep telling you, okay, this is what you should do now. So that's the reason why this topic is so important, especially for all the youth today.
So you mentioned like the top Google searches are what am I purpose? And that's like one of the most common things. Do you think that's something that has to do with our modern society, or is that something we've always struggled with, like as people, finding that purpose?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there are a lot of aspects to it. If you look back maybe 50 years, 100 years, life was very simple. There was divisions, and in the first 25 years of your life, you focus on this. Next 25 years, you focus on your career. The next 25 is more about family and so on. And that's what everyone accepted. But if you look at the last decade itself, there is so much change that has happened in the world. The way economy is shaping up, the way jobs are changing, the way education has changed, the lifestyle has changed. So there is no longer a set system or mechanism in which people follow and they feel, okay, I have lived a good life. So that's one aspect. Apart from that, there is a lot of shift happening in the thought process of people, where they will not take things lying down. So if you look at the youth also today, there is a huge resistance to the systems that have been built by their older generation. They don't feel that they fit into it. They feel restricted. They're looking for freedom. They're looking for a way to express themselves. And all of that is leading to this question that, okay, what am I really supposed to do here?
Got it. So before we kind of jump into such a complex, kind of multiple perspective topic, how about we kind of define what purpose is, if you don't mind doing that for us?
Sure. So people may have various definitions. You can look it up in the dictionary. For me, purpose is simply something that you are supposed to achieve, something that you decided that in my life, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And that is the purpose of my life. Now, purpose, people make it to be something very grand, that I will be highly successful or wealthy or famous. But to give you a very abstract example, somebody's purpose can be simply that I want to experience anger in this life. So there are people you'll come across who get angry very easily. Like the smallest of things will just make them angry. Now, why is that happening? Like, can you find the reason for it? But it's just that they chose to experience it in their life and get over it. So a lot of the purpose that people talk about is linked to what is there within you. So people can have, or you can classify purpose as something that is achieved outside and something that is achieved inside. So outside is what the success and fame and wealth. But you will always find that anything that you're achieving outside, it is serving a purpose inside. It could be that I don't feel confident enough, or if I achieve this, I feel better about myself, or if I do this, then I feel worthy of what my parents wanted or what I wanted. So there's always a link between what is happening outside and what is happening inside. So it's very easy to define a purpose which is outside, which people define in their life, that I will do this, I will do ABC. What is more important is to be able to identify the purpose that is driving you from inside. And that's the purpose that I would love to focus on in this podcast too. And when we look at humans, the purpose, there's one common purpose we all share. And for example, if you see someone who's fallen down on the road, your first instinct is going to be that I want to go and help this person. So where does that instinct come from? Nobody has given you the thought. Maybe no one's taught you, but even when you were young, you would immediately have this first instinct that I want to go and help. Now, there may be the environment which is influencing, like if you're in America, your first instinct now would be that don't go close to that person. That person may be carrying a firearm or that is not safe. But still, the instinct before that is to go and help. So the common purpose of all humans is to help others. And if you're able to incorporate that somewhere in your life, it's going to help you figure out what your individual purpose is.
How does somebody, so you mentioned a variety of like purposes, like external and internal, and some of them might be more like grand than others, but you said at the root of it, it's like to help others. So how does somebody just accept that that would be their purpose, to just be nice to others, to help others, versus like, oh, I think my purpose is to invent something that will change the world? Because I feel like that's where people kind of get a lot of this unfulfillment from, because they think their purpose is much bigger than it actually is.
Yeah, that's very good. So there are a couple of parts of the question that you asked. So the first is, I believe that helping others, why is it linked to your individual purpose?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So when you say you become 40, 50, and you achieve things in your life, and if you see the people who are at that age at the moment, there is a desire in them to give back. So they're constantly finding ways to give back to society. They have got so much from the world. Now they want to give back. So why is this desire coming up at that age of 50 and 60? So my response is that it was always there. It's just that you got caught up so much in the idea of success or your idea of purpose that you had to achieve that you forgot that, and now that is achieved. Now you're feeling that now if I do this, I might feel better about it. The other aspect that you mentioned is about a grand purpose that people have, and people keep wondering that, is this my life? That the day-to-day stuff that I'm doing, is this what my purpose is? Or there is something great I'm going to leave, or a legacy that I'm going to leave behind? So to know that answer, you need to be connected with yourself. Have you experienced intuition in your life till now?
Intuition?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Like my gut feeling.
Yes, your gut feeling. Yeah.
Yes.
So did you act upon it?
I feel like I try to as much as I can, but sometimes there's like external forces that might lead me to not act on it.
I would agree. I mean, I feel like I let the external world control most of mine.
Okay. That's right. That's a very good, I would say, acceptance. So instinct, where do you think it comes from? Like your gut feeling, intuition, where does it come from?
Maybe past experiences, like cultural or family background, maybe how you're raised, maybe.
Okay, fair enough. So when you're doing, for example, any action, let's say you are going to lie to a friend of yours, does a voice tell you that this is not right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So where does that voice come from? So is it someone's taught you, or it is by default that is there? That whenever you do something which is not right according to you, something will speak up inside of you and say that what you're doing is not good.
I'd like to hope it by default, and you're not. Yeah.
But then also when you're younger, though, like your parents tell you not to lie. So I don't know.
Okay, that was one example. Let's say you're going to hurt someone, right? So there would be a voice telling you that. Okay, let's be more practical then. Let's take alcohol and smoking. So even let's say you enjoy drinking or you enjoy smoking, every time you drink, there would still be a voice telling you that this is not good for me. You have done that in the past. You have got totally smashed. You have passed out. But you still go, and next day or a day after that, when you try to drink again, although you might give in to your desire to drink, but that voice is still there, that this is not good for you.
I think so. I think would it be because of like a human predisposition for like self-preservation or just protecting yourself or keeping yourself healthy, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's my take on that.
Yeah. So whatever your response and experience is absolutely correct. So intuition is a guiding mechanism which is going to help you figure out what your purpose is. So whether it's grand or not, is driven by your mind actually. So your mind, which is influenced by outside, will keep telling you, okay, what you're not enough. What you're doing is not enough. There is something more you need to do. But if you follow that instinct or that intuition, then it will tell you exactly what you need to do. But we're not able to follow it because of many reasons. Like you said, there is a whole external influence which is blocking it. So even though there is a gut feeling, you would still a lot of times not choose that action.
So if we want to backtrack a little bit, so the idea is that in order to find your own or fulfill your own purpose, we want to kind of follow that gut feeling of helping others, right? Is that the idea that through helping others, you're going to somehow kind of find your own purpose?
Yeah, that's one part of it. That is incorporating helping others in your life. The other part of knowing what you're now, if you look at the bigger question, that am I fulfilling or am I on the right track towards my purpose? So that may be the confusion, that what I'm doing today, what I'm studying today, what I'm aiming for, is this really the purpose of my life? So I would say that there are two types of people in that. The first type is there are people who don't know their purpose. Till the end of their life, they may not know their purpose. It's only when they reach an old age, they look back and they realize, oh, I did this when I was 20, 30, and it helped me later on to achieve this. And they link. So if you are familiar with a very famous speech of Steve Jobs at the Stanford University. So he, in his speech, mentioned a concept of connecting the dots. So when he was younger, he dropped out of college and he just came across a calligraphy class and he got interested in that and he just did a course. And later on, when he developed the Mac, he used the same calligraphy, the whole concepts of spacing, proportional formatting in the typeface and the fonts. And that's how the whole fonts, the way they are in your Mac today. So you never know that what you're doing today, how it's going to help you in the future. So if there is something in front of you, then the best thing you can do is give 100%. And automatically your purpose will be revealed to you. So that's the first type of people who don't know their purpose, but simply they will just look at what is in the present and do 100% justice to that. And there's a small set of people who, for various reasons, are told their purpose at a young age, that you have come to do X, Y, Z, and you need to maybe align your path or align your goals to follow that purpose. But it's safe to assume that most of people who are listening is the first type, who may not know their purpose till very late. Right? So the best approach for them is to focus on what is in front of them and develop the ability to listen to their intuition or their gut feeling and follow it.
And then what would the second kind of person be? The second type of person that you mentioned?
Yes.
Or, I mean, can you give us an example of maybe a person that would be given their purpose, and how do they kind of get out of that?
Yes, I can give my example.
Okay.
So I'm one of those second category people. So when I was in the 8th grade, I decided to become a surgeon. And then I did everything that I needed to do to become a surgeon. So it was not easy. There were a lot of difficulties in the way. I was about to become a surgeon, in the sense I was going to get my degree. And at the same time, I started exploring spirituality and started learning about something which is intangible, you can say, or a little abstract. And in that process, I found a guide and a mentor. And in one of the conversations, I was told that you were not meant to become a surgeon, but you have become one. And you're doing well at it. But the purpose of your life is to teach and train. So at that moment, it was a big shock for me, because imagine, like, as a clinician or a physician or a surgeon, you have already planned your whole life that I'm going to do this degree, then I'm going to do the next, and then I'm going to set up my practice and so on. Your whole life is in front of you, already decided. And then there is a direction or a suggestion that that's not what you're meant to do. This is what your purpose is, something else. So see if you can align with it. And that's when I decided to explore alternate careers. And then things happened, right? So there was a period of 1.5 years where nothing was making sense. So I was trying to explore that, if not surgery, what can I do? So I thought I'll do an MBA, or I'll get into some biomedical device engineering, and there were a couple of other courses. But eventually, after 1.5 years, without any effort of my own, there were some things which happened, events took place, and I got a job opportunity in Johnson & Johnson. And the role that was given to me was of education. So which was to design trainings for surgeons and the sales team. So it's already aligned with what I was told that was my purpose. So the only thing I needed to do was take action, which is not easy. You have to have courage to drop everything you've invested in for 10 years and just shift your career. And then after that, it's been very smooth for me, I would say. I have never had any conflict that, am I doing the right thing? Is this what my life is supposed to be? All those things just disappeared. Right. So that's like the second category of people who are told that this is your purpose.
Okay, so
it's not easy either ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say someone has kind of realized that everything they've done up until one point isn't necessarily what they were meant to do, or not their purpose necessarily. And so they're going to try to kind of shift and, like you said, drop everything and kind of go try to find their purpose. How do they, when you're leaving such a large thing behind and all this that you've worked up to, how do you kind of stay mentally intact or kind of keep your composure and structure? And how do you kind of find that purpose, or what do you do next?
Like make a smooth shift from one purpose to another. Like starting that new chapter, I guess.
Okay, smooth wouldn't be the right word. It's never smooth. So that's a great question. So before I answer that, I would just like to summarize that if you have to find your purpose, you have to, one, give 100% to what is in front of you. Second, develop your ability to listen and act on your intuition. And third is try ways to incorporate giving back even now. And then things will happen, and then you will start aligning with what your purpose is. Okay. If you want, we can discuss on how to listen to your intuition, maybe later in the podcast. Okay. Now coming back to Shyam, your question. So if you have to transition and that's true for everyone, right? Whether you're the first category or the second category, things can always happen in your life, which can change your life, maybe even 180 degrees, and you're doing something else. What supports you there is energy. So when I say energy, you can see yourself as three parts. You have your physical component, your physical body. You have your mental component or your mind, which is thoughts. And then you have the emotional component or your feelings, you can say loosely. And all of these can be seen as energy. So when you say physical energy, it is your ability to take action, get out of bed and do what it's needed to do. Mental energy is whether you're focused or you're scattered. So your ability that even in chaos, are you able to think straight? Are you able to ignore the unnecessary thoughts? And whatever is required as the next step, you're just able to think of that. And emotional energy, you can say, I can describe it as contracting or expanding. So there's no emotion which is good or bad. It's just contracting or expanding. There are emotions which make you feel small, that you just want to go in a corner and just, hug yourself. Like low self-esteem, or you're insecure about something, or there's some fear, or you're jealous about something. So all that will make you feel smaller compared to emotions which are expanding, like passion, motivation, happiness, joy. They make you want to go out and, communicate with people, associate with people, achieve something extraordinary. So all this is just energy. So your ability to follow on your purpose. So if there are a lot of people who, let's say they realize what their purpose is, or they're revealed that this is your purpose, do they have sufficient energy at that point to take action? So there are many people who don't. So even if somebody knows that this is what I'm supposed to do, they would spend years just in that limbo, that, okay, something will happen and then I'll be able to follow the purpose. So it's the amount and the quality of energy that you carry in your physical, mental, and emotional body that decides whether you'll be able to successfully follow your purpose.
So the way you've been talking about purpose, it just sounds it's like one path. So for me, I feel like one of my purposes are like going to med school and becoming a doctor and helping people in that way. But then another one is like expressing myself creatively through like videos, making videos. So would you say like I'm splitting my energy in that way and I'm not going to truly feel fulfilled if I'm like going down those two paths? Or for somebody to achieve like happiness and fulfillment, they should find like their one thing, their one main calling and one purpose?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So you mentioned that you want to become a doctor and you want to help people, right? Now that's again outside. So if you shift your focus internally, what are you trying to achieve within you or inside you by doing that? So when you help others, what is it that you get?
It makes me happy. Feels like I made a difference in somebody else's life.
Yeah. So what is happening is you eventually then you want to feel happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we have done is, for you, the idea of happiness is that if I help others, then I'll feel happy.
Mm-hmm.
So you yourself have restricted yourself that I will only feel happiness when I achieve that. But there is so many other opportunities available to you to experience that happiness. So the limitation that we keep on ourselves in purpose is we get stuck on the outside. So it's much better to have the internal compass or the focus to guide you. So if, let's say, food, right? There's nothing in your refrigerator, and there's a particular food that you like to eat that's not there. Are you going to starve? No, but you're going to figure out something to, for that hunger.
Mm-hmm.
You will not stay hungry.
Yeah.
So does it matter at that time what kind of food you're eating?
No.
It doesn't. So same way it is for your inside, for your internal mechanism. That need of maybe feeling happiness or feeling joy or feeling more confident, it can be fulfilled by multiple things. So we get stuck with one thing, that this is the only way I will do it. So when you take that approach where you start focusing on what is it that you're really trying to feel or trying to achieve inside of you, the whole world opens up and it becomes easier to navigate through it. Okay. It is true that what you do as your career or your profession or your job is also linked to your purpose in a way. So if you see the people, majority of the people, whatever job they're in, whatever career they've chosen, it is automatically linked to their purpose. So what I said earlier, that you don't like people who realize what their purpose was when they grow old, right? So all that happens because of whatever event situations happened in their life. So whether you want to or not, you will anyways be driven towards your purpose. So what makes a difference is whether you are able to do it successfully or not.
Okay, so I just kind of want to make sure that I'm understanding your definition of purpose. So if I were to identify myself as pre-med or like being a doctor is my purpose, as you were saying, I'm kind of just boxing myself in. But if I realize like my underlying purpose or my internal purpose is like, it makes me happy to connect with others, then I can find different outlets to fulfill that purpose, right? So it's not just like being a doctor, but it's also like making my videos, because that's like sharing a part of me with the world. And I feel like I can connect with people in that way.
Yes, so that's correct. So external events and situations will happen in your life anyways, like you becoming a doctor, then practicing and growing successfully. But that will not mean that you are feeling fulfilled or you're feeling happy or you're getting the same output that you thought you will get by investing so much in this particular area of your life. So again, it's important to know what is it that you're trying to fulfill within you and explore any area which is going to help you feel that way. I spoke about the physical body and the mental body, emotional body. Now, everyone's purpose on earth, it is linked to their emotions. So one of the guiding mechanisms, if you're not able to, let's say, follow your instinct or listen to your instinct or gut feeling, it is your emotions. If you go out and talk to people, there is a pattern in their emotions. So there is a few emotions a person will experience more and more regularly, irrespective of the intensity of the situation. Things just happen in their life and they will keep feeling that way. So I mentioned about anger in the beginning. It could be jealousy, it could be pain, hurt, anything. So if there is an emotion which is coming up regularly in your life, then that is also a guiding mechanism for you to resolve it. And a lot of the external situations for you are designed to help you. So let's say you are into medical field and you become a doctor, you will come across many situations in that area of your life which will keep making you feel a certain way till you get over it. So that's actually the purpose that you're supposed to fulfill, not that wealth and fame and success that you have in mind. So same way, if you're able to identify in all aspects of your life any common emotions which you feel, it's mostly through people. It's usually through the closest people that you have, your close friends, your relatives. And if you're able to figure that out, and then what do I need to do or what helps in resolving those emotions or productively using those emotions, that will go a long way in helping you.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you're saying to stay true with your emotions, when you're trying to find a purpose, kind of reiterating what we talked about earlier, you want to give everything that you do or that's in front of you, your 100%.
Yes.
Kind of listen to your emotions as a guide.
Yes.
To find your purpose.
Yes.
So kind of going off of that, let's say the purpose is emotionally connected to us. We want to find a purpose that makes us happy. That's kind of our underlying kind of principle or baseline. How do you find the way to fulfill that emotion? There's so many ways so many ways to become happy, right? Whether it's through pre-med or just kind of maybe going out there and starting a nonprofit or doing something as simple as volunteering somewhere. So there's just so many ways to do it. How do we kind of narrow down how we find our purpose that way?
Yeah, that's a good question. You have to explore. You have to keep experimenting. And there will be a moment where something clicks within you that, okay, I feel very comfortable here, or this is what I feel I was supposed to do. The same voice that was telling you that don't drink alcohol or don't smoke, same voice will tell you this is what you're supposed to do. And it'll become stronger and stronger. But that'll only happen when you try like 10 things, 20 things, 30 things, and then it'll click for you.
Okay, that makes sense. It's very interesting that you say that, because that's something I try to live by, kind of exploring, or at least kind of digging deeper into whatever comes up to see if that's something that aligns with my goals and purpose. But I feel like society now, more than ever, is kind of forcing students or kids to follow a framework, or kind of predetermine their purpose before they even get a chance to explore. Just some examples. Now we have elementary schools that are STEM focused, or pre-health focused, where even at such a young age, they say that pre-health or a health career is the way that you fulfill your purpose. So how do we, especially the younger generation, how do they kind of avoid falling into that trap of being told what their purpose is and then doing that up until college, or when they actually become that job position or career, and then realizing this isn't really what I was meant to do?
Nice. Very nice. So again, if you are in a situation at the moment, like you may be in a certain college, university, or a course, that has also happened because you were, let's say, supposed to be in that situation. As of today, you may not have the freedom to change that. You can't suddenly just leave the college. I mean, there are some people who drop out and venture out on their own. If you feel you're one of them, you can do that. But you will have to wait. You'll have to wait till you reach a point where you have the freedom. When I say freedom, it means you have the resources, you have the avenues, the opportunities to shift out of the current approach or situation you have in front of your life. Till then, again, I will say, give 100% to what is in front of you. So if you are in a college or a course or university, so don't spend your time thinking of the future. That, what will I do? I'm just waiting for these 3 years or 4 years to get over, then I will do this, do that. Just get through the present. Give 100%. Learn everything that is there in front of you, because you don't know what is going to come to use. So it shouldn't be that after you finish this, and later on when you're changing your career or doing something else, you realize that, oh, if I had studied that or I had spent more time, I would have learned something and applied it. So whatever is in front of you right now, give 100%. If that feeling is coming again and again, that this is not what I am meant to do, or this is not something I identify with or relate with, it's fine. You keep that thought. That's again the guiding thought that's telling you that this is not the end, or this is not your final destination. You finish this, then there's something else for you. But as long as you're in that situation, just go through it, complete it, and then go on to the next. I would highly recommend not running away from situations. That, okay, if something is making you uncomfortable in life, you just drop it and then do something else. Because if there is, again, going back to the emotion, so what makes you most uncomfortable is unfamiliar emotions. The way you're feeling about a situation, there's uncertainty or there's fear or whatever that feeling that you get. So if you run away from it now, it's going to come back again. Even in the choosing of your own path or career or purpose. So there's no running away from the internal purpose you're supposed to fulfill just by changing the external.
So what I'm hearing is this isn't something like finding your purpose isn't necessarily something you actively engage in and do. It's kind of a process that's kind of has to happen on its own over a longer period of time. You kind of, I don't know, wait it out and see what is in store for you.
Yes.
But at the same time, to kind of, I guess, accelerate the process, you could follow your emotions, give everything 100%, help people in the meantime, that kind of thing, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it'll happen. So your purpose will unfold. You need to have the patience and to allow it to unfold. Don't do 100 things to find, okay, what is my purpose? Why am I here? And then even if you get the answer, you will not feel very happy about it. So that's why there is very few people who are in the second category. That is people who are told their purpose. You need to reach a certain, I would say, level of maturity to be told what your purpose is. Like, for example, if there was somebody who has a tremendous desire for marriage, like they want a partner, they want a companion, and they want that love in their life. But their purpose is to be alone. Now, if you tell such a person who has this huge desire to be with someone that your purpose is to be alone, is to do something else. So mentally, emotionally, this person will not be able to accept it. And the only thing they will do is feel suffering. So that's why there's more people in the first category, that slowly things will unfold. As they reach a level of acceptance, things will be introduced in their life. And then they will go to the next situation. So it's completely...
They figure out that they want to be alone is what you're saying, rather than...
Yeah, they will realize that, okay, this is what I need it to be like. This is what my life is.
Right. So they don't...
Yeah. It's not a shop.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So to kind of, I guess, start summarizing, if we want to go back to the idea of, I guess, the energies, as you mentioned, could you kind of elaborate, because it isn't something that's tangible, obviously, kind of elaborate on that idea and how we kind of use that to our forte, I guess.
Yes. So I spoke about different aspects of your energy, the physical, mental, emotional. There's a fourth component which I didn't talk about that time. And that is, you can call it your innermost self, which is the intuition. For now, you can say you can call it the intuition, you can call it gut feeling. So that's the fourth component. And they are all deeper to each other. So the physical is the most external. Then you have the mental, then you have the emotional, and then you have the intuition. And all of them influence each other to a certain extent, but all energy flows from the deepest to the most superficial. So I'll start from outside. So physically, now you need to be physically prepared to adapt to situations in your life. So if tomorrow suddenly you realize that I need to do something else, your body, physical body, needs to be ready for it. So let's say if you're in the habit of procrastination, right? You keep delaying things. So your body also has inertia. So if you can't suddenly change your body overnight, so if you're in the habit of lying down and doing nothing, then suddenly when you realize what your purpose is, your body will not support you. Let's say you are used to taking a nap at 3 o'clock. in the afternoon, then even though you have a purpose and you know what you want to do, at 3 o'clock, your body will still want to go to sleep. Okay. So keeping your body prepared to fulfill your purpose, which means staying active. So there are 3 components. This is all there available outside. You have your sleep, you have your nutrition, and you have your movement. Okay. So what you're eating dictates a lot about how your body is going to respond. Your sleep or rest, and movement. So movement could be exercise, it could be walking, it could be anything. How active you keep your body. So when you fulfill all these 3, then your body is prepared to handle the next situation, or it'll follow your command. Rather than you following the command of your body will follow the command. The other aspect of your body or your physical energy is not to fix yourself in a routine. So I can understand in college, you have a fixed schedule and you have to wake up a certain time and sleep. Now this can work for you when you're in college, but when you go out and you set goals for yourself, don't get stuck with the routine which people are following. Like you have to wake up there's a 5 a.m. club. You wake up at 5 a.m. and you'll be successful. Or you do 10 things in the morning routine and then you'll have a great day. So it's not about that. Your schedule and your discipline should be decided by your goal. So let's say you're working in a night shift or a night job, right? Your whole cycle will change. Are you going to follow the day routine? You're not going to do that. The same way, if your goal requires you to sleep at a certain time, eat at a certain time, move around at a certain time, you follow that and not that circadian rhythm. So that's about physical energy, how you can keep it up. Now, mental energy. So there is common things available which people know, like people do mindfulness and they do meditation and other focus activities. So those are good. But again, what helps the mind is having a clear goal or clarity. If your mind does not have a clear task to do, it will always keep you in confusion. That's the quality of the mind. The mind always lives in duality. There are always 2 things. So unless you give a clear instruction to your mind or a clear vision to your mind, it will keep you in confusion. So very important for you to be able to write down or have clarity of what exactly you have to do. If you leave it that, okay, something will work out or someday I will get the answer or the clarity, it will not happen. Okay. So even meditation, mindfulness will work when you have clarity. It's not the other way around. That if I do meditation, if I do mindfulness, I will achieve that clarity. It will help to a certain extent, but you can't fight the nature of the mind. Now for emotions, which is deeper. So physical, then mental, then emotions. This is the most, I would say, gray area because you will not find enough information outside. So physical and mental, there's tons of information. But for the mental, for the emotional part, which is the way you feel, there is nothing taught in school or college which helps you figure out, okay, if you're hurt, if you're in pain, this is what you should do. If you had a breakup or your parents told you something and you felt bad about it, how do you deal with it? So there is no course out there. So what I can do to simplify it. So I spoke about contracting and expanding emotions. So your aim is to increase your expanding emotions and to resolve the contracting emotions as fast as possible. So for your contracting emotions, when you feel fear or when you feel lost or confused about anything or you're hurt, the best way to get out of that is to talk to someone or to express that emotion. So if you have a best friend, or sometimes talking to strangers also helps. So you have to let that out of your system, that energy. And then you will be able to get the clarity that you need. And the other part, which is increasing your expanding emotions, joy, bliss, happiness, passion, motivation. So you have to invest in every day in something that you love. So any activity that you love to do, okay, you have to invest, even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's like currency, like how you deposit money in the bank. Same way, when every time you do something that you love, you're adding that energy back into your system, and that becomes available to you later on. That's one part of it. Then the other is what I said earlier is helping others. So the moment you help others, you will feel good about it. Now, that's not the purpose of helping others, but it's something which happens by default. So the more you help others, the more you are increasing your bank balance of the expanding energy. And then it supports you again. So when you do that, all of that, physical, mental, emotional, it kind of supports your overall system to respond to the situation or the realization, okay, this is what I need to do next in my life, and you will be able to fulfill it. So I hope you're able to relate to it, because all the physical, mental, emotional, you might have experienced that already in trying to achieve. So you had a task, assignment, or any other thing that you had to achieve. What became a block for you? Was it your body? Was it your mind? Was it your emotions? There was something. And if you take care of it now and you start working or include it as part of your routine, that every day I invest in myself, then it'll go a long way in supporting you in your purpose, goals, vision, whatever that you have decided for yourself. And the last part, which is the intuition or the gut feeling, that's the most powerful. So it is energy-wise, it's the maximum energy available to you. So if you connect to it, if you follow it, it'll support all the other layers. So your gut feeling influences your emotions emotion influences the mind, and the mind influences the body. So to connect or to follow your intuition, one is you need to associate with positivity. So this is easier to do. That is, you spend more time in an environment which is positive. So you talk to people who are positive. You go to events or situations where you're surrounded by like-minded people and they support you, compared to going to a place where everyone's depressed or everyone's stressed out, everyone's anxious. You also will start feeling that way. So to boost your gut feeling or your ability to listen to your intuition, you have to spend more time with people who are like that. And the other way is to simply try and communicate with your gut feeling. So think of gut feeling as an entity of its own, because the voice came to you, right, when you were doing something which you're not supposed to do. So it was not a part of you. It's another entity within you. So simply to connect with it. So you can ask questions to yourself. Now I'm saying this in a way which is going to be relatable to the youth. So the spiritual aspect is to connect with something which is higher than you. So if you believe in energy, or if you believe in a form, anyone who you consider as someone who you look up to connect with that energy or connect with that person, and you will get the energy you need to listen to your intuition and follow it. And if you don't have someone like that, then you should spend time in finding a mentor or a guide who's going to help you with that. So just like you go to college, you go to school to learn from a teacher, right? All the knowledge and everything, so that you can be successful later on. Same way, if you have to figure out how to successfully follow your intuition and listen to it better, you have to associate with someone who's already doing it and learn from that person.
Got it. So I guess I've kind of heard a similar analogy where everyone has a bucket with multiple holes in it, essentially. And that's kind of them doing their everyday activities, finding their purpose, etc. But you're saying to kind of line up with your physical energy, emotional energy, mental energy, and follow your intuition, find some kind of guide as steps to kind of keep adding to that bucket so that it doesn't, the water doesn't run out, essentially.
Yeah, that's great.
And that's kind of the way to find your purpose. So let's say this person has done or taken all of those steps and they've kind of consistently done this, kind of aligned all of these things. How do they, at what point do they know that they've fulfilled their purpose? Or how does one know that they've reached?
Very nice. Yes. So when there is no conflict within you, you could say that I have fulfilled my purpose. When there is no desire left in you to do anything, you can say that I have fulfilled my purpose. So, but that also requires a level of awareness. So a lot of people that I interact with, they may not be aware of their own feelings or their own emotions. They're just following whatever's being influenced by the environment. There's not much focus on how they're feeling or what they're doing, why they're doing. But if you practice all of those, focusing on the energy of physical, mental, emotional, and instinct, your level of awareness also will automatically increase. And you will know that I'm on the right track and I have fulfilled my purpose. So as long as you're breathing, you're still fulfilling your purpose, or you're still working towards your purpose. And there are times where you will finish your life, but you have achieved maybe 60% of the purpose that you decided for yourself. That's also fine. But even and then you will know. So most people, like if you've heard of experiences, that people who are having near-death experiences, they get a flash of or visions that this is what they did and this is what they learned and this is what they were supposed to do. And then they go. Right. So this realization of what I have done with my purpose does come to everyone in their life. And if you really want to know, like for example, right now you're talking about a future state where someone who has developed their physical energy, mental energy, emotional energy. But for that person, again, it's normal. So someone who has a high level of, let's say, physical energy, like someone who is the fastest in 100-meter race. That person is not walking around every day thinking that I'm fast. That's very normal for him to run like that. But others who are looking at that person are like, oh my God, like how will I feel when I reach there? Same way with let's say mental energy. You may come across people who are very focused. But the person who's very focused is not always thinking that, oh, I'm such a focused person. For them, that's the normal day-to-day life for them. The same way when you elevate yourself and you increase all your levels of energy, automatically, even when you realize I fulfilled my purpose, it'll not be some grand event in your life. Rather, it'll be like a lot of peace and calm that I'm content. There's no conflict.
Yes, I think that's a good way to say that. We're not going to really feel that we've reached our purpose. It's kind of, we're going to feel more content than before, I guess you would say.
And you'll know it. You'll know that, okay, I have somewhere achieved what I wanted to achieve. But there's, at any point in your life, it could be 60, 70, 80. If there's still a conflict or a desire within you, that means there's still something left for you to do.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to kind of, a lot of people, especially the way society kind of structures you and forces you to follow certain paths, it's very hard to fulfill all of what you kind of determine you would do at one point in your life. A lot of people have goals in mind, and then retirement comes up and they haven't fulfilled, half of what they desired. But I guess definitely starting from a young age, kind of looking for a purpose and actively engaging and trying to find and fulfill it is a way to go for sure.
So my understanding so far is that our purpose is always like within us. It's our intuition and the emotions that guide us every day, like that internal voice that you kind of talked about. So it's like the way we choose to express our purpose or like the path we choose to follow, that's what kind of changes throughout our life. But does our like internal innate purpose change throughout life?
Great. So one purpose will never change, which is to help others. That will always remain with you. The second part, which is the individual purpose that you mentioned. Now, as you evolve, so when people are growing physically, mentally, emotionally, and even with connection with their gut feeling, it may happen that your purpose changes to align with the new version of you. And it's possible that every decade, every 10 years, your purpose could change. So you may have thought that this is my life and this is what I was supposed to do. You do it, then it can change. And very naturally, it could be that smooth transition also, that you finish one thing and now you feel, okay, I need to take on the next thing or next project in my life. So again, that's why I would say that don't fix yourself. Don't spend too much energy in trying to find your purpose. And if you find that purpose, don't get stuck on it that, oh, I found the purpose and this is the only thing I have to do in my life. Right? So keep yourself very, very open. And when those moments happen, right, it may not happen for everyone. Most people will have that same purpose throughout their life. But if it does happen to you that your purpose is changing, then again, that all the energies help you, physical, mental, emotional, to make that transition.
That balance in between all of them and making sure you're fulfilling like your physical, emotional, spiritual helps you realize your new purpose or like change.
Both. It'll help you realize, plus it'll support you in the transition.
Mm-hmm.
That, okay, I was doing something, now I have to drop the whole thing and now to do something else. So that transition, also you need energy and you need support. That support you can get from yourself. You develop yourself. And the other support which comes is if you have a guide or a mentor. So that person also gives their energy to you to do that transition.
So I guess this kind of ties into your career path or career trajectory, where you followed a purpose initially. You were told your purpose was education and teaching others. So you dropped everything and shifted to that.
Yeah.
But you were still able to use your prior experiences, I guess as a trained surgeon, to work for Johnson & Johnson. But also you had all those energies lined up to help you. That's a great way to kind of wrap it up. So now, if you don't mind, we've kind of talked about all these topics. If you don't mind just summarizing, what are the exact steps that they have to take to kind of find, follow, and fulfill their purpose?
Excellent. So the first step is whatever is in front of you in your life, you have to give 100% to it. If you are not able to give 100% to it, it means that there is some aspect of your energy which is not supporting, whether it's your body, your mind, your emotions, or your gut feeling. So try to correct that. Try to identify and correct that. That what part of me is not allowing me to give 100% to what is in front of me. Okay, that's the first step. The second step is developing your ability to connect and listen to your intuition or your instinct or your gut feeling. There are multiple ways available. One way to start is when the next instinct or gut feeling comes to you, do your best to follow it. And as you keep doing it, you will find that the gut feeling becomes stronger. It's more available to you, and you have more energy to execute that. And the third thing that I would say is find a mentor or a guide. There will be many moments in your life where you would feel lost. You wouldn't know what next to do. So having a guide, having a mentor who's already achieved what you are trying to achieve will always support you in moving towards your purpose.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for speaking on this topic. I think you said a lot of insightful, really useful things, especially for someone that's kind of confused if they're young or even at an older age on what to do with their lives and kind of move forward from there. So thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
As we wrap up, let's leave you with a quote to remember this episode by. This quote is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, an American essayist, and I think it perfectly summarizes this episode. He says, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well." Until next time, stay productive, positive, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.